Hello guys, my name is Dr. Varun and you are watching Chlorophyll classes only on YouTube. Well, today we're going to be studying about 11th class topic, that is frog. We will be completing about the frog morphology and anatomy in this video only. You can refer this for your academic exams or for your NEET also. So let's just start it. So first of all, frog. It seems like a very basic organisms which is present close to the water sources or into the soil or during in the parks and gardens, especially during the season of rainy seasons, right? But the major thing is that why we are studying it, because frog belongs to the phylum Chordata, which is closely related to us. So we are studying it about it so that we can understand it and the basic morphology of or the anatomy of the frog in correlation with the human thing, right? Earlier we used to dissect it, but now we don't do that. Okay, so let's just start with it. So the variety which is present in country India is a Rana tigrina. That is what Indian bullfrog. So the first pointer would be that scientific name, that is Rana tigrina. That is what Indian bullfrog. So it is what? It is large in size. Its size is pretty big and it has a loud call or sound which it produces. Now the sound is produced by the male counterpart of it, not the females. We will learn about that thing, but just remember for now. If we have to put it into the systemic position where it rises, means what? Its kingdom, phylum and all those things. So we're going to be writing it out. It can be asked to you and you should know at least this about it. So systemic position, systematic position, starting with the phylum. Kingdom, you know, na? Animal. Okay, the phylum is Chordata. And if you have studied about the animal kingdom, if not, go back and see my video of the animal kingdoms where we're talking about the class, most of the last part of it. Okay, so in that we have what? We know that they have what? Subphylum. So phylum, after that subphylum. Subphylum is vertebrata. Then we have a division, that is gnathostomes. Then it has superclass, that is tetrapoda. Then it has a class called as amphibians or amphibia. Amphibia. Then order, if you remember, very good. If not, that's not an issue. Anura. Then we have genus as Rana, and species which is present in India is what? Tigrina. Okay, now let's talk about its habitat. Now it is what? Amphibians, means it has dual habitat things. The name itself are coming from it. So it is what? Terrestrial as well as the water. Again, the life is also accordingly. So the next thing is habitat. Habitat, that is terrestrial, that is on land and water. And which type of water? Fresh water, not in the marine water. Now after that, let's see the habits. First of all, we go through the locomotion. So it do what? It is leaping and jumping kind of a locomotory option. So it just like tink tink, like this way it's do it. It can even climb on the trees also or on the walls also. Okay, so it is what? Habits. So habits are what? First is locomotion. So leaping that is shorter distance jump. Okay, jumping, swimming in water, and can even climb the walls. Okay, then after habitat, feeding. Now in the feeding, this is very important that the larva, the baby of it, okay, before it forms the adult version, the baby has what? It is herbivorous. And the herbivorous, one characteristic is that the intestine is longer. So larva has a longer intestine because it is herbivorous. But when it comes to adult, when it's like a frog, it is what? It is carnivorous. Okay, it feed on insects and all those things. So in this topic, larva is what? Larva is herbivorous, whereas adult is carnivorous. Carnivorous. Moving on, it's like we said that I initially, when we start the topic, I told that it is only seen during what? During the monsoon time, means during the extreme summer and extreme winters it is not seen, and this is known as what? Winter and the summer sleeps, which is called as hibernation as a winter sleep and estivation as the summer sleep. Okay, so the next point would be hibernation. And now why they do it? If you know that they belongs to what? They belongs to amphibian, and amphibians don't have any what we say that warm blood. It means they can't regulate their body temperature with the changing surrounding temperature. So to save itself from getting dead because of low temperature or the extreme temperature, summer temperature, what it does, it just hide itself in the burrow so that, and reduce its metabolic activities during that time and sleep for that time. It absolutely becomes very inactive in the most of the things. Okay, so hibernation and estivation. This is what? This is winter sleep. And this is what? Summer sleep. Now why they do it? They do it so that they can protect themselves, because they are what? Cold-blooded. Okay, so what is that? It is they become metabolically inactive. So what they do? Stop feeding, depend on stored food inside the body in the form of fat. Okay, so this is there, and only mode of getting food energy is the respiration, which is also little bit required because metabolically they have stopped working other things. Okay, so respire through skin only, because they are what? They dig inside the soil or furrow and goes and lives over there. Okay, respire through skin only. Okay, so this thing we have to remember. Next point is the clocking. Clocking is what? It's traditional sound which it produces. Okay, so that is what? Croaking. And it is produced by the male vocal cords of the frog, not the female ones. So this is what? It is a differentiation between male and female, and this differentiations help in what? Distinguish between who is male, who is female. So this characteristic is called as sexual dimorphism present in the male and female. Okay, so it is what? Characteristic sound. Croaking is the characteristic sound produced by male frog to attract females during mating season. That is normally rainy, mating, breeding season. So male frogs croaks louder due to presence of vocal sacs which are absent in female, which are absent in females, and that helps in producing a high pitch voice, and hence have high pitch voice or sound. This will give what? It also distinguish male frog from female. Hence this is what? Sexual dimorphism. You know that what is sexual dimorphism? That you can distinguish between who is male and who is female in a species. Okay. Then after this, the next thing is the mimicry. So what is mimicry? Mimicry is the feature of protection against the predator. And this mimicry means it's appears like something else. So camouflage is what? Camouflage and mimicry and camouflage. This is what? Camouflage is protective colorization. With surroundings, environment. So non-living object and all, it easily get blended with it because of its color of olive green color. Okay, because if you see that this color is there, it can easily be look like what? It will look like what? It is a kind of a grass and the mud and the soil thing, or the patches of the thing. Okay, so that thing will be here. So protective covering. Mimicrization is what? It is help in what? It helps in giving the means it the act of appearing something else. Okay, so that's a two thing. Camouflage will be hiding in the surrounding, okay, mixing or blending in the surroundings. But when it comes to mimicry, you mimic certain things. That is what their tendency, that is what their habits. Camouflage is there according to the colorations which can easily be blended into the surrounding. Mimicry is acting for it. Okay, both way help in protection from the help in protection against predator. Because who will eat it? Snake can eat it, other birds can eat it. Okay, so that's why. And one more habit that it has, that is molting. Molting was what? Molting was that release of the outer skin cast, which snakes do, reptiles do, if you remember. So that is what called as molting. So molting takes place in that way once in a month. That is shedding of outer skin, called as molting. Okay, now the next thing is comes the external morphology. So if you see it externally, this is the structure, and if you want to see that what is there, what are the features of it, let's try to see that. So let's see that what we are able to see from this diagram. So first of all, we can see its outer skin. It looks little moist, soft, and it has a coloration also. On the upper side, if you see this side, it has what? Olive green color and dots present on it, right? These patches, black patches present. Below side, it is pale yellow color. So we come to know that its coloration is like that. Let's just write about it. So this is what dorsal side, this is the ventral side of it. So let's just see that. So first of all, skin color. skin moist. Why? Due to cutaneous glands. Cutaneous glands, which secretes what? It secretes mucus, which keeps the skin moist. Okay, secrete mucus on the surface, and this is important for the respiration purpose. Okay, next, color. So color, dorsal side of the body is what? Olive green with brown with dark spot, whereas on the ventral side there is what? It is slightly yellow without spots. Moreover, can you see any exoskeleton? No exoskeleton. Skin is present. Okay, moving on to the next in this only, that is, if you see that its skin is what? Hygroscopic, means it's absorb water. And when it is hygroscopic, it simply means that it absorbs the water. So the skin absorbs the water and they do not need to drink the water. So skin is hygroscopic. Which means what? It absorbs water. And that's why it is said that the frog never drinks the water. It directly absorbs through the skins. And that's why frog never drinks water from its mouth. Next, if we see that the whole body is divided into two major segments. What it is? This part called as head and this part called as trunk. There is no neck or tail present. So body is divided into two parts. So we're going to be writing that. So body is divided into two. What are they? That is head and the trunk. So tail is absent, but in the larva tail is present. Okay, moving on back to the main thing. If you see its head part, this part, you see what? This is what? Bulging eyes. So eyes are coming out, mouth is there which is present. Look, this bigger mouth is there. It's opened up to eat the stuff. And there is what? Can you see that this area? This is the nostrils present on both the sides through which the air goes inside. This area, can you see? It is what? It is a tympanum. It is a covering of the ear through which it can hear. Okay, so these things are there which we have to write now. Okay, so we have what? We have this two bulging eyes, two bulging or protruding eyes. It has what? It has nostrils. Okay, and this eye has what? It has a eyelids present. So if you see that these are what? Having the eyelids. So how many eyelids are there? There are total 3 eyelids. So this is what? Eyelids. 3 eyelids are there. Number 1 is what? Upper eyelid, lower eyelid, and the last one is nictitating membrane, which is the 3rd eyelids. Okay, in this, the upper eyelid is what? Immovable. We can't, they are not able to move. Lower eyelid is movable, and this arises from the lower and help in covering it and able to see during the what? During when they are in the water. So nictitating membrane is what? 3rd eyelid. It is called as 3rd eyelid. and it arises from lower eyelid. Okay, next comes what? Next comes the, this nostril is also 2. Okay, next comes this tympanic membrane. So this is what? Tympanic or tympanum. It is what? It is a patch of skin. Covers the ear opening, represent ears, or covers the ear opening. Okay, moving on to the next one is the mouth. Okay, so the mouth is there. This is the mouth. Now if you open the mouth, how it looks like, this I'm going to be showing up here. So the mouth, okay, that we will do in the digestive, not here. We don't have space. So digestive system part, we will do it there. So mouth is there. It has vocal cords present. Okay, so vocal cords will be there, which is having vocal sacs present in case of males, so that it can attract the female. Okay, so last is the trunk thing. If you see the trunk area, this area, you will see this is there. This is what? Hind limb. This is what? Forelimbs. Okay, so the trunk has those things. So this is what? This. Okay, this color is not visible. This is hind limb, and this is what? This is the forelimb of the trunk. Now the hind limb, 1 minute. Now the hind limb on the forelimb, there we have to remember that how many digits it have. Like our forelimbs are these, hind limbs are my legs. So these hands has how many digits? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 digits. Like this also we have to study that how many digits are there, and in that what is the formula, means how many parts it has. Okay, means I have what? These are the 2 digits, phalanges, like 1, 2. It has 1, 2, 3. So 2, 3, 3, 3, 3. In my foot also it's like that. Okay, so the same thing we're going to be seeing over here. Now over here, one more thing is that it has to swim. So what happened? It's a lower limb, like the feet's one. They have what? They have webbed. Means what? This area has a skin outrages over here. So this area help in what? In the moving into the water, and help in the swimming into the water. What? The frog's hind limb. So frog's hind limb and forelimb. Okay, so they are what? If you see the forelimb, it looks like this. Okay, so in the forelimb, it has what? 4 fingers. Okay, so it has what? 4 digits only. Okay, so I'm going to be making the 4 one. 1, 2, 3, 4. And these 4 digits has a digit formula. So digit formula in the forelimb is what? This is what you have to remember. It is, its thumb is not present, so 0. Then it has 2, 2, 3, 3. So means it's first, this thing is not present. In this only 2 is present. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3. Means parts at which its digits are divided. Okay, this thing is there. This is the hand. So it is also called as manus, hand. Okay, whereas hind limb is what? It is the foot, and it is called as pes. Okay, hand or pes. Now this has what? This also has a digit formula, and you know that it is what? Little bit thicker. So it has what? 5. So they have what? 5 digits. Its digital formula would be what? Digital formula would be 2, 2, 3, 4, 3. That 2, 2, 3, 4, 3. Like this in the feet. Okay, and they are what? Webbed like this. So this is what? Webs. Skin is there, which help in what? It help in swimming. Forelimbs are not wet. Only the hind limbs are the wet. This thing got understood. This is the outermost morphology of the frog. Okay, which you have to remember. Okay, don't just leave it. Have to remember. Moving on. The next thing is its anatomy. Now we are cutting it off. Now you know that when we are cutting an organism, its outer surface would be there, skin, inner subcutaneous layer, whatever is present. First we're going to be seeing that only. If you see the frog, it has, like, of course this thing is not given anywhere. Chances of coming question is also very rare, but we will just give a quick understanding of it. So its layers are what? It is epidermis, outermost layer, then it is a dermis, and then the muscle comes. Similar like us. Okay. So the epidermis is there, it has layer. The dermis is there. Dermis has certain glands, these glands. Okay. Whereas inside it what? Muscles are present, and then what? Skeleton will be there, right? Now, if you see over there, the epidermis and dermis and these glands, what all different types of glands present? There are chromatophore cells present, there are poison glands present, and the mucus glands present. What are they? Let's see that one by one. But before going into it, let's try to see that what these things are representing over here. So this epidermis, the outermost layer, it is called as stratum corneum. What it is called as? Stratum what it is called as? Stratum corneum. After this, what will be the next one? Just the internal layers. It is called as stratum transitional. Okay, so this cell layer is what? Stratum transitional. Then the lowermost layer is what? Very different in cells. So different name is called stratum germinalis. Okay, so that is stratum germinatum. So these three names are there in the epidermis. Now comes the dermis. So when we are going through the dermis, so this whole layer, cell layer, if you see over here, this whole thing is what has a common type of tissue organization. So the layer over here would be called as what? Okay, would be called as what? It is called as stratum spongiosum. Stratum spongiosum. And when this is within that stratum spongiosum, we have what? Muscle fibers present. So we call it what? We call it stratum compactum. Stratum compactum. Okay, so sorry, this lowermost layer before it is coming. Okay, so spongiosum has what? It has all the glands present, but compactum has what? The dense connective tissue, horizontal fibers would be present, and the last one would be the muscles one. So this is what? This is the three layers of it. Now if you see the epidermis, its outermost layer, normally this epidermis is what? It is non-vascular. Okay, so this is what? The next part we will read with that. It is non-vascular. Outermost layer of it is what? Stratum corneum. Okay, whereas innermost layer is stratum germinatum and the middle layer is stratum transgeneralis. The dermis is vascular because it has glands present. So glands need continuously synthesis of things. How they will do it? When the food will be there. Okay, so that is there, which is present in the stratum spongiosum. And this layer has what? This dermis layer has what? It is made up of connective tissue. Connective tissue layer. Now, if this is the connective tissue layer, there are two different differences: stratum spongiosum, stratum compactum. Now, stratum spongiosum has all the glands, means this poison gland, mucus gland. Mucus gland, you know that it will what? It will release the mucus fluid, which makes the skin moist all the time. Poison glands help in what? Helping save itself from the predator. So these things will be there. So this is what is all about the anatomy. Okay, so if I had to write about the anatomy, what I will be writing, that it has three divisions. Okay, three layers which you can see. So there is what, there is epidermis, there is a dermis, and then the muscular layer is present. Okay, that's it. We are not going deeper into it. Just remember the facts. That's it. Okay, what is happening, what you are seeing. Okay, moving on to the next thing, that is the digestive system. Now here, what are important topics are coming up for this chapter. So we're gonna be studying it and understanding it. If you see this frog, okay, its digestive system is always starting from what, from your mouth. Okay, same in them also. So their digestive system open into this mouth. The mouth will open into what, a buccal cavity. So buccal cavity is what, certain features would be there. So we're gonna be seeing what in your buccal cavity, what you see, tongue is there, teeth are there, and then you engulf it. So this is what, after buccal cavity, what comes, pharynx area comes. The area of the pharynx which is closest to the nose, it's called as nasopharynx. Closest to the mouth, it's called as oropharynx, and closest to the vocal cords, it's called as laryngopharynx in humans. Same there, same there, pharynx is also there. The pharynx will pass the things towards what, esophagus, which is guarded by the epiglottis. Okay, where the structure called gullet is present, on which the epiglottis is present, which will do what, it's basically present like this, but when the food has to come, it will cover up the windpipe, so that food don't go into the windpipe, because it is just in front of the esophagus in the body. Now let's see that this pharynx was there, then comes the esophagus, which is directly connecting it with what, it's connecting it with the stomach. Now over here, some stomach area, it goes into this, what, this is the intestinal areas, and from intestine it reaches to rectum, and rectum secretes into the cloaca. Normally cloacal opening is there. Now they don't have any anus present, they have cloacal opening present. Through that their waste is also coming, their urine is also coming, and their gametes are also coming. So three things comes from there. So what happened, this is the whole structure of it. Accessory glands are present, like for example, there is what, salivary glands present, there is a presence of liver, there is a presence of gallbladder or pancreas. All these things which help in the digestion to secrete the enzymes, that is present in them. So that is pretty much same like what is there in humans. Let's just see that. So in 10th class, if you have studied about the digestive system, you will able to do this very easily. Okay, so digestive system has two parts. Okay, what are the two parts of the digestive system? One, we study about what, we studied about the alimentary canal. So first we studied what, alimentary canal. We said that from buccal of mouth to the cloacal opening. Okay, so it is what, it starts from the mouth and in them ends in the cloacal opening. Whereas the other is the digestive glands, which are present, which is help in digestion. So these are the two parts of what, digestive system. We have understood that they have similar like what humans has. Okay, so let's just one by one see. In the alimentary canal, what all organs that will be there? So there will be presence of what, mouth, the first. It open into buccopharyngeal cavity, means buccal and the pharynx part. Okay, so buccopharyngeal cavity. So two words names are coming up. So means buccal cavity plus pharynx. Coming up to the next, it goes into what, esophagus. Okay, so esophagus is there. Then comes the stomach. So 10th class, if you have not done it, it is similar only for the 10th class point of view. Then comes the intestine. Now the intestine has a parts present, but only two parts, like two different distinguishes there. That is what, small intestine. Okay, so intestine would be what, first there will be like the small intestine and the large intestine. Small intestine has what, it has duodenum. it has ileum, and the large intestine is only made up of a rectum. Okay, so this is rectum, and the last part is the cloaca. It is also the gland which will open into through the cloacal opening. So their last part, rectum, do not open through anus, it goes into the cloaca and cloacal opening. When it comes to digestive glands, the digestive glands present is what? They are liver, there is gallbladder, there is pancreas. These are what? Digestive glands that are present. Even in the stomach, there is what? There are small unicellular glands present over there as well. If you see the mouth of it, so let's just start with it, starting with the first thing, that is mouth. If you will see the mouth, you will find what? You will find that there is what? It contains teeth, but in the upper jaw only, not in the lower jaw. So what is the role of it? The role is not to masticate. The role is to hold the prey. Means whatever the insects it will take, it will hold it. Okay. So the mouth has something like this. So okay, so this upper part is what? It is the maxilla. Jona, like this is what maxilla, this is what mandible, and this is the mandible. Now the upper jaw area, here only what? Your teeth are present. So these are the teeth. These teeth are called as wormeric teeth. So these are what? Wormeric teeth. What is the role? To capture or hold the prey, not for mastication. Not for mastication. Do not have teeth. Mandible do not have teeth. So very important fact that could be very helpful to you. Now the nostril was there, it will open into the oral cavity, because your nostril also open into the oral cavity. So how we will remember it? Sometimes you drink water and suddenly someone make you laugh. So what happened? The water will come from the nose. So means nose and the mouth has a connection. Okay, so that thing is here also. So those connection is what? Over here. So these are what? These are internal nares, means internal opening of the nostrils. Okay, so this thing is there. After that, over here there is an opening of eustachian tubes. Eustachian tubes help in balancing them. Okay, so these are what? Opening of eustachian tube. Now on the lower lip area, there is what? Tongue present, which is attached in the front and not at the end. So it opened up and captured the prey or the any insects which is flying. Okay, so over here what? There will be a tongue, and the tongue is bifid. Bifid means like this. So this is tongue. Now the tongue over here, this area, it is what? It is joint. Okay, so fixed. This tongue is fixed at front. Okay, and this area is what? This is bilobed. Two lobes can be seen like this. Okay, so bilobed tongue is there. Okay, and free from behind. It is what? Free from behind. That's why it comes like this and goes like this. Okay, free from behind. And this whole thing is representing what? Buccopharyngeal cavity. Okay, so this thing we have to remember. And over here what? There would be opening of This is what? This is the pharynx, which opens into what? Esophagus. Understood? Now this is what the buccal cavity. Now the esophagus is there. Esophagus is a small tube-like structure which push the things down. Okay, the next thing is esophagus. So over here, same thing. Pushes food forwards toward stomach. Through what? Through parasylastic movement. Through parasylastic movements. So everyone know that what is parasylastic movement? It's a to and fro rhythmic movement through that food goes down into what? Stomach. Next structure is stomach. Now the stomach has two parts. One is cardiac part, other is the pyloric part. So this has two parts. So if this is the stomach, this is the cardiac part, which is present close to the heart. Close to heart. And this part is what? Pyloric part, which is connected to intestine. Connected to intestine. Now comes what? Intestine. So there is what? Number one, small intestine. In the small intestine, it is what? It has two parts. What are the two parts? Number one is duodenum. The first part which will receive the products. So basically it receive bile juice and pancreatic juice. And pancreatic juice from the gland. Okay. Pancreatic juice from the gland. From gland. Moreover, it like which gland? The bile juice will be secreted by the liver. So this will be secreted by liver and this will be secreted by pancreas. Okay. Second part of it is, that is ileum. Here what? It has lot of infoldings, which is what? Microvilli. Okay. So they have what? Infoldings present called villi, which increases the surface area for reabsorption. Increases the surface area for reabsorption or the absorption of the food, not the reabsorption, for the absorption of food. Okay, then comes the large intestine. Okay. Then comes the large intestine. It has what? It is made up of only a rectum, which will what? It will store the food until it has to be thrown to the cloaca. Okay, so basic work is what? Absorption of water from the feces, absorption of water, and stores fecal matter. Stores fecal matter. And the last is what? Cloaca. So cloaca is what? It is a common chamber for what? Three different openings. One is for the urine or the ureter, one is for the this, and the other is for the gametes also. Okay, so it is what? Common chamber. Common chamber for reproductive / digestive / excretory system. It opens outside through cloacal chamber and remove the things. Okay, it opens outside by cloacal aperture or opening and release the materials from these three glands. So this cloaca is very important. Okay, if you remember this, everything is easier for you. This is about this. What about the digestive glands? So just quickly see about the digestive glands. So digestive glands. So number one is salivary glands are not present in them. So though no digestion will take place in the mouth. Okay, so first thing is that salivary glands are absent. Initially, I think I said that it's present. No, it's not present. In the human, it's present, not over here. Next, liver. It is the largest gland. It is the largest gland and it produces bile, which is stored in the gallbladder and released when needed. What does the bile do? It helps in breaking down the fats into smaller parts so that it can later on be further smalled up by the digestion process of the lipase enzyme and finally be taken up. Okay, so it's the largest glands. Okay, main function. Okay, release bile, which helps in emulsification of fat and neutralizing the acidity from HCl of stomach. And the second one is the both the things has been written. Okay, meanwhile, coming to the next gland which is present over here is the gallbladder. Gallbladder do what? It just stored the bile and when needed only then it will be released. So it is a tap. Okay, so it stores bile. After that, the next is the pancreas. The pancreas will release pancreatic juices, which contains a lot of different types of like the fat digesting, protein digesting and carbohydrate digesting ones. So it releases pancreatic juice containing lipase, amylase, which is pancreatic amylase, and protease. So lipase will digest fat. It will digest carbohydrates and it will digest protein. So these are the enzyme names and what their function is. Okay, moving on, the next is the gastric glands, okay, which is present in the stomach. So next is gastric glands present in stomach. So same three glands were there, same thing over here also. So it has number one, that is oxantic cells. It releases what? It releases HCl, which will kills the bacteria. Activate pepsinogen. Okay, and provides the medium for the iron absorption and all those things, same as the humans. Next is the peptic cells. They release what? They release pepsinogen, which is what? Protein digesting enzyme. And the last one is the goblet cells. It release what? It release mucus. Same function, everything same. So this is the digestive glands and digestive system, which is the easiest of it. Coming up to the next one, that is a respiration in them. So respiration is what? Different. So we have what? We have two major categories, that the larval stage and the adult stage. So in the larva and in the adult. So the larval has what? Larva has the gills present to it. So they have what? They have brachial respiration, which is what? Through gills. That is through gills which are present in them. Because of presence of gills, that's why they appear what? They appear more fish-like characters. Okay, through gills. Whereas adults, they have three different ways according to the situation that they will do. So the number one is through the skin, which I said. So skin is what? Cutaneous respiration. So that is what? Cutaneous respiration. Cutaneous respiration. It is most common occur when they goes into the water for the breeding or the fertilization time, as well as for the hibernation and the summer sleep. Okay, so it is most common, occurs all the time, main source in water during fertilization process or during the mating process, during fertilization and sleep. Okay, winter sleep or that sleep only. Skin, with respect to skin, there is a skin. Next one is the buccopharyngeal cavity. It will do what? It will help in the buccal respiration. What? Buccal respiration. What happened in the buccal respiration? So your nostrils are open, mouth is closed. Nostrils are joined with certain muscles where its contractions and opening will help in increasing or decreasing the atmospheric pressure, and the air will go in or go out. Okay, so it is what occurs when the frog is on the land. Occur when frog is on land. Only nostril remains open. Mouth, buccal cavity, all thing is closed. Okay, gullet, everything is closed. How it happens, that's not in our syllabus. That's it. And the last one is the through lungs and lungs. That is called as pulmonary respiration. Okay, very important point over here is what? That nostril remains open. What things remains closed? So your mouth, your glottis and gullet closed. No working of them are being taken place. Whereas here, when the through lungs is being done, then gullet and mouth, they are closed. Okay, and glottis and nostril keep on opening and closed. Okay, so this thing is there. How they do it? They will keep on increasing their atmospheric pressure. Same thing like humans. We are not going into the major working of it. So that is all about the respiration, which you have to remember that there is what? 3 types in the adult and by the gills in the larva. Next goes to the circulatory system. When we are studying about the circulatory system, it means that how the blood is being transported. Not just blood, but the lymphatic system also, because that is also part of circulation in the body. So the circulatory system is a very important one, that it has a closed type of circulatory system. But basically 2 circulatory systems that we're going to be studying. So number 1 would be what? That is blood vascular circulatory system. Blood vascular system. Or there will be what? Lymphatic system. Lymphatic system. Lymphatic system is very small, very easy to remember. Blood vascular system, we have to remember little facts about it. Now the blood vascular system is responsible for the RBCs to be reaching to every point of the time. Okay, so it is closed well developed. It is consists of what? It consists of heart, portal system, and blood. So these things you have to study about it. Moving on to the next thing, one by one, let's see that heart first. So the number one thing is that we're going to be studying is the heart. Now, first of all, remember the facts that heart is what? It is three-chambered heart. 2 auricle, 1 ventricle. Okay, so it is three-chambered. That is 2 auricles and 1 ventricle. Along with that, there is a presence of accessory chambers on the dorsal and on the ventral side, plus accessory chambers. Now here you have to remember which one is present. One is sinus venosus, another is truncus arteriosus. Now, if you see over here in this diagram, this is one side or the other side, means front and the back side of it. So this is the dorsal side of it. If I have a frog, my dorsal side would be this side. So means the heart which is formed first would be what? The back area. So in the back area, can you see that this is the what? One auricle, second auricle, and the ventricle. In front of it, this structure is present. And this structure must be containing things. So what is this structure? This structure is called as this area. This whole structure is called as sinus venosus. And when the word venosus is coming, means that all the vein. Venosus word mean itself vein. When it means vein, means it is containing what? It is containing bringing all the deoxygenated blood. So there is what? There is a precaverns, left precaverns and the right precaval which is present, and this is what? Postcaval. So what is happening? All the blood from the upper side and from the lower side, it is coming over here. And when I am saying that it is coming over here, what happened? From the body, deoxygenated blood is coming in this area. Okay, and this blood goes into what? Now whenever, always remember, in humans, if you have studied the 10th class, you know that the deoxygenated blood comes into the right atrium. Same here also, this has an opening into the right side of the atrium, and it forms what? It goes into the right auricle. Simple. As it goes into it, there will be what? Oxygenated blood coming from the heart into this. It goes into it. Now both the goes into the ventricles and get mixed up. And from here on the opposite, means this side, you will see the heart like this. This ventricle has a connection with this chamber called as truncus arteriosus. Where is what? Here the pump of the blood will be there. And you know that pumping blood will always be in the artery structure. That's why I've got the arteriosus over here. Will you remember it? So what I said that? I said that just try to correlate it with the humans. So what has happened? Truncus arteriosus is present on the dorsal side. Means this side of the body of the frog. Whereas this is present on the present on ventral side, dorsal side and the ventral side. Now just remember that venosus means deoxygenated blood. So deoxygenated, and truncus arteriosus is oxygenated blood which will go to the body. Okay, so this thing, if we remember, we can do it. Okay, so let me just do it. So what is the blood flow over here? The blood will be from the deoxygenated blood from body. Where it is comes from? It goes to the sinus venosus. That is at the back it comes. Sinus venosus has an opening in the right atrium or the right auricle. Right auricle means here what is happening? Deoxygenated blood is going. Now this deoxygenated right auricle will pump the thing into the ventricle. Simultaneously, what will happen? There are like there is what oxygenated blood from lungs. They comes where? They comes into the through the pulmonary vein, through pulmonary veins. It comes into the left auricle, and it will also reach into the ventricle. From ventricle, this mixed blood, so this is what a mixed blood is thrown through truncus arteriosus towards the body part. So it happens something like that. Clear with this? Okay, so this is what how its basic workings are. Okay, so just remember that the precavils which are present over here, they collect blood from the upper part, collect blood from upper body, and this postcaval collects deoxygenated blood from lower body. Okay, well, that's all about the functioning of it. If you remember humans, this is much easier for you to correlate with it. Now their heart is having a covering present. Those covering is called as pericardium. Okay, so covering around heart is present, covering around heart present, called as pericardium. So two layers are there: parietal pericardium, visceral pericardium. Okay, and this area is what triangular in shape. Okay, this is tubular in shape, tubular shaped. Okay, that's the only thing you have to remember. So we have done this also. Next comes to the portal system that is present. It is what extra systems which are present in the in these organisms, in that frog. So what is what? Portal system. So portal systems are two in them. One is the renal portal system, other is the hepatic portal system. So renal portal system takes deoxygenated blood from lower body, like the hind limbs and all, lower body, and passes to kidney for filtration, kidney to filtration, so that whatever the toxic substances are there, they can be taken out, filtration. Whereas hepatic, it takes deoxygenated blood from intestine and passes to liver for detoxification. It's just that systems are there. Circulatory system is there. Portal system is also working on toxic substances from lower just directly go to the kidney. From hepatic, it goes to the liver. So that work is being little bit distributed. Next thing is the blood. So now here over here, you have to remember that the blood is what? Mobile and all. Okay, so it has same like the human blood has plasma and the cells, that is corpuscles cells. The plasma is what contains water, proteins, okay, and other solutes. Contains water, proteins plus solutes. Whereas corpuscles would be having what? It will have three components, that is RBC, WBC and platelets. same function. The only thing is that these are what? Biconvex plus oval plus nucleated. Okay, in our case it is biconcave as well as it is non-nucleated in us, but there is that. So this is the only point you have to remember. Okay, and yeah, that's the thing about the blood. And the last is the lymphatic system. Lymphatic system, just the things which are present in it you have to remember. Major function of lymphatic system is that in this area only it fight against and provides the immunity. How they do it in 12th class we will understand it. Okay, so it is first of all not well developed. Okay, it has what? It has lymph hearts present, 2 in number. Then there is lymphatic lymph sinuses present. Then lymph vessels are absent. Okay, and has what? Lymph. So lymph is made up of plasma and WBC cells. That's it. If you remember these facts, it's more than enough for you. Okay, how it works, we will be studying in the lymphatic system for the human. There we will correlate it. Coming up to the next thing, that is the skeletal system. When I'm talking about the skeletal system, then exoskeleton is absent. There is no external skeleton that is present. So exoskeleton absent. Endoskeleton, yes, it is present. Endoskeleton present, has 153 bones. Now it has an axial and appendicular skeleton. Axial skeleton means brain, vertebral columns, and all those things. Appendicular means hind limbs and the forelimbs that are present. Okay, ribs are not present in their cases. Okay, so skulls has what? A foramen and magnum, which is the opening through which the spinal cord comes from the brain into the vertebral column. Okay, hyoid bone is present. Vertebral columns, there are 10 vertebrae present in them, and those things will be there, but that's it. Okay, so moving on to the next thing, that is nervous system. Now the nervous system, we have to remember that it has what? It has central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. So nervous system is divided into 2 major categories. That is what? Central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. Now the central nervous system has what? Brain and the spinal cord. It has what? It contains of brain and spinal cord, which is present to the central axis of the body. So if you see me, you have got brain and the spinal cord. But these movements which I am able to do, it is because of the nerves which are present over here. So these nerves are coming from the brain also, coming from this also, which is a part of peripheral, because it's going to the periphery, like outer areas of the, from the center it's going towards the outer area. So it is what? It has cranial nerves and the spinal nerve. Now it has another type of nervous system present, that is called as autonomic nervous system. Okay, so next is autonomic nervous system is present. Which has 2 parts, sympathetic and parasympathetic. What it is in the nervous system we will be studying. Okay, so these are what? Certain things which are connected to the skeletal or the smooth muscles. Okay, so they are what? Sympathetic nervous system, or there is what? Parasympathetic nervous system. Now the next thing is central nervous system has a covering present itself. So it has only 2 coverings present. One is dura mater and another is the pia arachnoid membrane present. Okay, so CNS has covering around itself, and that is what? Dura mater, outer covering, and there is what? Pia arachnoid matter, which is inner covering, thin in structure. This is thick, this is thin and delicate. Next, in the central nervous system, brain is there. Okay, so we are studying this only. So brain has 3 parts. So what are the 3 parts of the brain? We have divided into forebrain, midbrain and the hindbrain. So they have what? We have forebrain, midbrain and the hindbrain. The forebrain has 3 structures present to it. First is the cerebrum. Next is the olfactory lobes. Olfactory lobes. And the last is diencephalon. Whereas midbrain has what? It has only optic lobes. And the hindbrain has only 2 structures present, that is cerebellum and the medulla oblongata. Medulla oblongata. Not the third part which is present in the humans, that is what? Pons. Okay, it is not present over here. Now when it comes to spinal cord, the spinal cords are continuation from the medulla oblongata into the spinal cord and comes out through the foramen, that is the skull part of it, that is foramen magnum. Okay, and the peripheral nervous system originated from these parts. The brain, cranial nerves, that is there. So cranial nerves which are coming from the brains, they are 10 pairs, whereas spinal nerves are around 9 pairs mostly, sometimes can be 10 pairs. Okay, so this thing is the important ones which you have to study. Now your sense organs. The next is the sense organ over here that you have to study. Now there are various sense organs present. Let's just quickly enumerate one by one. Okay. So first is tango receptors. Tango receptors means what? They are the tactile receptors, means touch receptor. So they will respond to the touch. Okay. Then we have olfactory receptors. Olfactory word itself means what? The word itself means that smell. So smell, it will recept the smell. Then where it will be present? It will be present in the nasal epithelium. Touch receptor on the skin. Then we have Jacobson gland. Jacobson glands are present on the nasal areas, nasal and the warmer area. Okay, so Jacobson organ, जिसे हम vomero nasal organ भी बोलते हैं, also says that also, I'm sorry, also says that vomero nasal organ because it is present at that area, means you open it, it will be present in between teeth and the nostril area. Okay, and it is responsible for the smell. Then fourth one is the gustatory receptor. Gustatoreceptor, which means what? For the taste. Taste on the tongue. It is present on the tongue and the buccopharyngeal cavity. Buccopharyngeal cavity. Moving on to the next one is the photoreceptors. That is through the eyes. Protruding eyes are present, which do that. Okay, and one more is for the balancing, that is statoacoustic organ, which is present in the ear for balance, for maintaining balance. In urogenital system, so urogenital system, whenever we are telling this, very important point that you have to remember that it is made up of 2 different words. One is urine, that is from the urine, means it is responsible for what? Responsible for the excretory system work, because body will make waste also, not nitrogenous waste. Genital word when it's coming means what? It has certain to linked with the reproductive structure. Reproductive structure. So let's just see that what gonna happen over here. Now, important thing is that the frog reproductive system and the excretory system, okay, it is closely associated, and that's why it is called as like this, okay, as both these systems are closely linked or associated, hence called like that way. Now the excretory system, where we're going to be studying, we have to know that what are the organs that are the part of it. So excretory system, it has what? It consists of kidneys, pair of kidneys, pair of ureters. It is also called as urinogenital ducts in males, because in males it will carry urine also and the gametes also, okay, that is sperm, that's why. Then we have urinary bladder, then we have cloaca and the cloacal aperture through which the things will goes out, okay. Now the frog is uricotelic, but larva is amonotelic, as larva will be available in the water itself all the time of the time span it has, so it will be able to produce the ammonia and directly it can reduce it. It don't has to reduce it into the urea or the uric acid, okay. And larva is amonotelic. This thing, if you have done the animal kingdom, you know that what's the reason behind it, okay. And as we will go toward the excretory system in human topic, we will understand it. Moving on one by one, seeing kidney. So how the structure look like. So there is 2 kidneys, this is the ureter, this is kidney. They opens into what? It will opens into the cloaca, whereas here with it a structure is present called as urinary bladder. But this is what? Cloacal aperture. So let's come back to the fact point. So kidneys are what? From kidneys, these are mesonephric kidneys. Means more than this, which kidney would be more advanced? Metanephric kidneys, okay. So these are mesonephric kidneys. Each contained 2000 nephrons, contains 2000 nephrons, okay. And their adrenal glands are also present on the ventral side of it. Adrenal gland present on ventral side of it. Ventral side of it. Now this ureters are present both in male and female, but in males it is doing what? It is also responsible for the sperm release, so they are called as urinogenital tracts, okay. So ureters are called as in case of females, because in females only their work is to release the urine, okay. So in males called urinogenital, as they carry both urine and sperms, but in females only urine. But in females only urine. Okay, moving on to the next thing, that is the urinary bladder. Okay, so it's temporarily stores the urine. So ureter will opening into what? Cloaca. So from cloaca, whatever the urine will be, it will go there for storing, and then it will comes out and goes out from here. Okay, so this is what happens in them. So this excreted out. So this is how the structure look like. Let's go to the last topic, that is reproductive system. And when we are studying about the reproductive system, then we have to remember that the reproductive system, they show the sexual dimorphism, means male and female has a different reproductive system. Okay, so first this side we're going to be studying about the male reproductive system. So if you see the male reproductive system, so this is the kidney, and from kidney only these testes are associated on its anterior sides. From these testes there arises what? Fat bodies on it. Plus over here inside its seminiferous tubules are present, because testes has seminiferous tubules where only the sperms will form. Okay, so seminiferous tubules is the structure where the sperms will form. Okay, meanwhile these has what? It has these vasa efferentia, which goes and connects with the canals of the kidneys, which is called as bidder canals. So where these vasa efferentia joins, they called as what? Bidder's canal. And from there arises what? Seminal vesicle, which will add certain more enzymes into it, and it connects it to the ureter and goes into the cloaca, and from cloaca it is released out. Understood? So what is the pathway of the sperm in case of them? So the pathway of the sperm in there is what? They have seminiferous tubules, retitestes, vasa efferentia, bidder canals, ureter, cloaca, and cloacal aperture. Okay, so this thing we have to remember. So reproductive system, the male reproductive system consists of number one, testes. After testes we have vasa efferentia, we have urogenital tract, urinogenital ducts, then we have cloaca. Very important, no copulatory organs, because since there is in fertilization occurs what? We know that both the things meet in there is the external fertilization in them. External fertilization means what? That the eggs will also be released in the water, the sperm will release in the water, and they will mix in the water. High amount both thing will be released. Okay, so this thing will happen. So there is no need to penetrate the female or release the sperm inside the female body. If that condition is not there, means what? It simply means that there is no need for the copulatory organs. No copulatory organs present as external fertilization occurs. Okay, next thing would be the pathway of sperm. So first thing is seminiferous tubule. From seminiferous tubule it goes to retitestes, it goes to vasa efferentia, from vasa efferentia it goes to bidder's canal, from bidder's canal it goes to urinogenital duct. If it is written as ureter, don't get confused, the same thing only. Okay, from this it goes to the cloaca, and finally to the cloacal aperture. That's it. Moving on to the next thing would be what? That's it. I don't think so more than this. If one fact can be written as that there are 10 to 12 vasa efferentia, 2 this, 2 testes, 1 cloaca. This fact you have to remember. That's all about the reproductive system. Okay, moving on to the next thing, that is the female reproductive system. So the next thing will be the female reproductive system. In female reproductive system, if you will see, there is what? These are the kidneys. On the kidneys, there is presence what? The ovaries. Okay, so kidneys on one view side obstructing the certain area of the kidney. Okay, so they are present in that point. Now these ovaries are connected not by the kidneys, but actually there was no such connections present in their case. If you see this ovary, so whatever the egg would be there, it will be released here in this space where it will be taken up by what? Oviduct, this funnel kind of things. Now who will get it? So basically what happened, the frog, male frog, it's do not have any copulatory organ, but it has a pseudo copulatory organ called as nuptial pad. Basically it is what? They have their forelimbs. On their forelimbs, the first digit of them, you know that the forelimb is what? The forelimb do not have the thumb present. So this is the first digit. Just below the first digit, there is what? Fatty cushion kind of a thing. It do what? It acts like a certain kind of bulge or certain things. If you will press, it will give extra effort. So what happened? The male on the female, imagine that this is the female belly. Okay, so what it will do? It will put the pressure through this pad on the belly side of the female, because it will hold it like this. And when it will put the pressure, what will happen? These ovary will release the eggs, and all of these eggs goes where? It goes directly into this, and it finally comes out like this. So basically it's going what? This ovary will release the egg, which will go into the oviduct. Through oviduct, it will release to what? Into the cloaca, and through cloacal aperture, it will comes out. Understood this thing? So this thing only we have to remember. So what are the structures? It consists of following structures. It consists of following structures. So what are they? It has ovary. It is attached to kidney. No functional attachment to oviduct. During breeding season, they rupture to release ova into the coelom. Coelom is what? Space. So I told you that it will release over here. So this is what? Coelom area. Okay. And later by nuptial pad or pseudocopulatory organ, male organ pressure releases the ova into the oviduct. This thing I have explained you. This is what I have written it over here. After ovary, there is what? Oviduct. Oviduct are what? Paired. It has what? 3 parts. It has a funnel. It has a tubule. And it is a ovisac. So this part is what? It is the ovisac. This is the tubule. And this is the funnel. Okay, the structure has been shown like that way only. Then the next thing that you have to remember, that is at around when that thing is being formed. So how many eggs female releases? Okay, so next part is okay, the next, wait a second, when it comes to structures, then it will release to what? Cloaca, we know that. Okay, now the next fact is female releases 2500 to 3000 ova at a time. Then fertilization is external in the water. Fertilization is external in fresh water, and pairing is called as pseudocopulation. Okay, now comes the development. When it comes to development, you know that it has what? It has a larval stage present. So indirect development is there. So indirect development takes place. Larva is called as what? Tadpole larva. Now this tadpole larva characters you have to remember. So if you have to see that, it is what? It is fish like, because if you remember how it looks like, something like this. Okay, so this is what? Fish like structure presents to it. Next, it is what? Gills are present. Gills present with gill slits present. So gills and gill slits are present just like fish. Then fins are present. So over here certain small fins are present. Then tail is present. So you can see that tail is present. Then there is what? Lateral line sensory system. What is that? That it can detect the change in the vibrations or the water current. Okay, so it can find that someone is coming to capture it or like that. So lateral line sensory system present. Lateral line sensory system present. Then heart is two chambered. Then it is what? Herbivorous. Then it is what? A monotelic. So all of these things are what? It's more look like fish characteristics. Okay, but later on what happened? Metamorphosis takes place. So what is metamorphosis? Metamorphosis is the way through which these organisms, means the tadpole, change itself into what? The adult frog. And for that, lot of hormones work over here, and the hormone which is responsible is thyroxine. In that, you know that thyroxines, to be it into its mature form, it needs iodine. Okay, so iodine, if we will be present, thyroxine will work better, it will form better, and that will change it into the adult form. But what if I give thyroxine in excess, or maybe it is what if we say that in the more amount than needed? Then what will happen? Then prior to the adulthood, only the adulthood features will come, but it not will be complete adulthood. Means what happened? Certain larval characters still remain present in the adult form, like presence of tail in the adult frog. So it is what? It is the neoteny that has been affected, that presence of larval characters in the adult, which is why, because of the issue with the thyroid or hormones which has been released. So that is what the tadpole changes into adult frog. Metamorphosis, change in its form, drastic change. And who will do it? Thyroxine or iodine form. Okay, which will be released by the thyroid gland of the tadpole. Okay, during metamorphosis, maximum change is observed in the circulatory system. So during this, maximum change occur in, because what happened? Their heart is two chambered, here it becomes three chambered. Okay, earlier it was giving two chambered heart, will always give what? It will give a deoxygenated venous blood. Here it will give mixed blood. So big changes are being taken place in this time in circulatory system. And minimum changes in the, and a minimum change occur in nervous system. Now if someone will ask like what is the ecological importance? So earlier it was considered as it is of not much ecological importance. Okay, but later we come to know that it is very important for the organic farmer or the pest control way of farming. Okay, so it is important for pest control farming techniques. What it is, we will learn it in the microbes chapter, how that is working. Second thing is as it eliminates pests or the insects by eating it. Second, in certain countries its legs, because these are very thick legs, thick muscle legs are there, so they are being eaten up as a delicacy. In Japan the legs are eaten in delicacy, but in French whole of the frog is eaten as a delicacy. Okay, so in certain reasons its legs are eaten as delicacies. With this, the chapter is over for 11th class, and the frog, that is also over. Well, if you like this video, give it a like, share it with your friends. This might help them in their academic as well as in their NEET examinations, because in 2025 4 questions comes from this chapter only. Well, let me know that whether these I am able to complete all the topics and the questions that came into the paper or not in the comment sections whenever you find this video. If you're liking this video, give it a like, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe. It motivates me a lot. And if you are looking for a prior one-on-one discussion, a way to get the good score in your board examination or in the NEET examination, I am coming with a course. All the details would be available to you very soon. Check out my shorts or my Instagram for that. These notes would be available on the Telegram as well on my WhatsApp channel, and the links would be for these notes would be available on the description as well. Thank you so much.